The basic definition of a periodical is a publication that comes out periodically, that is, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or at some other interval. Periodicals contain a variety of short works such as articles, reviews, columns, stories, poems, etc., written by more than one contributor. For the purpose of college-level research, periodicals are usually divided into three categories: scholarly, popular, and trade. Each source has a different audience and a different purpose. It is important to distinguish the specifics of each source before you decide if it pertains to your research. Scholarly periodicals are often called journals, which publish original research and commentary on current developments within a specific discipline. Popular periodicals are what we often call magazines. Popular periodicals usually contain short articles on a variety of topics written by various authors in an informal style. Trade periodicals can also be known as professional, industry-specific, or special interest periodicals. Trade periodicals are devoted to disseminating news and information of interest to a specific category of business or industry. Let me give you some examples. Examples of popular periodicals that I'm sure you've heard of are Rolling Stone, Time, and People Weekly. Examples of scholarly periodicals include the Journal of Pediatrics, the American Journal of Psychology, and the Journal of American Medical Association. Some examples of trade periodicals are Trade Finance, Automotive Industries, and Logistics Management. If you are able to see the print copies of periodicals, it can be easy to distinguish the difference between magazines and journals. Popular periodicals usually include bold cover photos and lots of advertisements. They are often printed on glossy paper with eye-catching covers. Journal covers usually contain more text and have few, if any, graphics, photos, or advertisements. Trade periodicals can look like a combination of the two. Some have glossy pages with lots of advertisements and photos, while others can look more like journal covers. If you find a periodical at a newsstand or a grocery store, it is most likely a magazine. Journals are usually bought directly from the publisher. Typically, only academic and research institutions like the WMU libraries subscribe to large numbers of scholarly journals. You should be aware that newspapers are also considered to be popular periodicals. Scholarly periodicals are considered scholarly because their articles are written by experts. Most scholarly articles are then evaluated by other experts before they are published, in a process called peer review. Periodicals that require this process for articles are also called peer-reviewed journals. Articles in magazines are written by reporters and published quickly. They usually have not been through a review process to check for validity. Articles found in trade publications are sometimes written by experts in the field, and other times are written by journalists, but do not go through the peer review process. Popular periodicals are useful for their coverage of current events and popular opinion. Their purpose is to get information to the public fast. Newspapers and magazines aim to print the most current news to a mass audience. Students should use them sparingly and should generally supplement their research with material from scholarly journals, books, or other sources of information. Scholarly periodicals are used for experts to share their research and knowledge with others in their field. Since most articles go through the rigorous peer review process, it can take much longer for them to be published. Scholarly articles are useful for their original and rigorous approaches to problems by experts in a particular field. Students can almost always use scholarly articles in their research, although they may need to supplement such research with books and other sources of information. Trade periodicals are written for a very specific audience, typically professionals working in a specific field, such as managers or administrators in business, finance, and industry. Articles found in these publications are sometimes written by experts in the field, and other times are written by journalists. They are published quickly to alert people in a particular business of new trends or technology, and these articles rarely go through a peer review process. If you are looking at the article online and not able to see the physical copy of the source, there are still many ways to identify which type of periodical you are using. Popular articles are sometimes unsigned and usually do not include a bibliography. They are usually shorter in length, ranging from 1 to 5 pages. They use vocabulary that is easily understandable by most readers. It is rare for any source material to be given. Scholarly articles are always signed by the author or authors. Look for credentials such as affiliation with a university or PhD, MD, or JD after the author's name. In most disciplines, a scholarly article will contain an abstract that summarizes the main points. Many times there will be a short biography explaining the author's involvement with the subject and possibly listing the author's credentials. These articles are often lengthy and almost always have the journal they are published at the top of the page. Scholarly articles also contain footnotes or a bibliography at the end of the article listing the author's sources of information. This allows the reader to locate the original source of any ideas or quotations used in the article. Scholarly articles also use specialized terminology or jargon of the field. In terms of content and quality, articles in trade periodicals usually fall somewhere between popular and scholarly. They are short to medium in length, may or may not be signed, usually contain some advertisements or illustrations, and may or may not contain a bibliography. They use vocabulary that is specific to the industry. Some sources can fall into the gray area, where it is unclear if it's scholarly or not. Here at the WMU Libraries, we are happy to help you distinguish the difference. Don't forget, if you can't come into the physical library, you can chat, email, text, or call a librarian. Just click one of these boxes below.